Hello, my name's Sue Tonks, and I'm delighted to spend a little bit more time with you, helping you become a more effective and confident networker. Today, I'd like to talk to you about a problem that we find many professional women have when they go networking. And recently, I ran a poll in the UK about what women felt like about networking, some of the problems and the difficulties that they have. I'd just like to share with you some of those comments. First of all, some women said that they felt that they lacked credibility when they went to networking events. Others said that it's an 80-20 principle. There's always more men than women at events, and it's very difficult to break in to those all-male groups. Somebody else said women are generally outnumbered, and I find it very difficult to be taken seriously. Somebody else said men seem to find it easier to appear authoritative in networking situations. Whether you feel like that or not, it's an impression that many women have when they go out networking. They feel at a disadvantage from the minute they set off. So what we're going to look at today is some of the things that you can do to give yourself that little bit more confidence and help you in those tricky situations. So, first of all, it's always going to be an 80-20 principle or whatever, more men than women when you go to a networking event. So don't let that worry you. Use your skills and abilities. You know, women are far more effective at building relationships, initial relationships, than men. And some of the difficulties, though, that women say is, oh, well, men only want to talk about sport. Men only want to talk about the things that the men enjoy doing. And sometimes the women feel a little bit isolated or lost because they're not quite as in tune with sport as others. Some women feel that, you know, they can build the relationship very easily, but making that move, that transition from small talk to business is a little bit more difficult. And some women feel that the cut and chase method that men use, they spot an opportunity, they go straight in, is really not their style and they feel uncomfortable with it. Well, what I'd like to say to you is good, I'm glad you're uncomfortable with it, because what we're going to do is look at some ways to make it easier for you to make those transitions, to join in on the talk and to feel a lot more comfortable in yourself. That will allow people to get to know, like and trust you a lot more quickly. So, what can we do about it? Well, we need to adapt. It's no good saying, hey, we're at a disadvantage, look at us, poor women, you know, we find it tough out there. We need to adapt. We're always going to be in a situation where there's going to be more men than women in many business settings. So, adaptation. It doesn't mean to say that we have to be better, we just need to adapt to a style which suits that environment far more effectively. And in one of my previous shows, we talked about, you know, making that impression in the first 3 seconds. And I said to shine, smile, the right handshake, the eye contact, saying your name with confidence, in your new name style, Sue Tonks. With that extra little bit, Sue Tonks. And just giving that little bit better approach when you make that first move. And also to have that inner glow inside you, that enthusiasm to want to meet and talk to other people. So that was shine. But when you go to join a group, you need to make sure that your body posture is right, that you're nice and open and friendly and approachable and ready to do business with. Which means that all of the closed movements and unsure of yourself and the legs crossed at the ankles when we're standing there in a group all make people look a little bit more worried and also put us at a disadvantage. So, body language. Men will tend to stand far more open with their legs a little bit more open on the floor to give them that strength all the way up through the frame. And then the shoulders will be back, Men will use their hands more to speak, although generally women do, but in a networking environment, women tend to stay a little bit more static. So men will have the shoulders, they'll move the hands. You know, space is power. And if somebody's using the space around them, it shows that they're much more confident and powerful person. A lot of women I see cross their legs at the ankles and then feel, you know, move from side to side, trying to keep up on those very high shoes. So again, just use some of the techniques, plant your feet, feel that little bit more confidence coming through the body, going right out the top of your head. Now, many women say, well, I'm really not sure about what we wear when we go to events. It's very easy for men, isn't it? You're going to the business networking evening event, and what's the biggest decision a man has to make? Well, for many men, it's tie or no tie. Which tie with this shirt, or which shirt am I going to wear with these trousers? Well, that's a really easy decision. Well, whoopee-doo. Women, what do we have to decide? Well, we have to decide lots of things. You know, is it a suit? Is it a dress? Is it two-piece, a three-piece? The height of the skirt, the trousers, the heel size, all sorts of things. It's very difficult building relationships when you stood up for a long period of time in high heels and your feet are singing to you and all you want to do is go and sit down in a corner. So we need to think about these things to help us have a better chance of networking more effectively. And you know, men again have it very easy, because if somebody says to a man, have you got a business card? Then a man can go, out of every pocket can come a business card. Women, that's a little bit more difficult. Guess where we keep most of ours? Yes, our purse or our handbag. And it looks very, very difficult when we have to rummage through that bag for a business card, which is at the bottom of the bag, screwed up and full of lipstick. It doesn't look like we're ready to do business. So we need to think and prepare and plan where we're going to put our business cards. Where's the best place for that so that we can reach them quickly and effectively. Just a little thought and preparation before we actually attend the event. We might decide things like hair up, hair down, am I going to put my makeup on or not, all sorts of things. You know, at the end of the day, it's about you feeling confident in you. A little while ago, I was asked to go to give a talk in London to professional business ladies. These were ladies that were lawyers, accountants, chartered surveyors at the very top of their profession. And I'd had with me that particular day a lady who is a personal dresser to the stars. And she was going to give our ladies a piece of advice on what to wear when they go on business professional networking occasions. And when it was her turn to deliver her session, she looked around the room and she said, girls, when you go to a business networking event and you're in the professions, you should only ever wear a black suit, a brown suit, or a navy suit. Well, the group started to laugh because they looked at me and I was wearing pink. Well, I like pink. And pink likes me. And when I'm wearing pink, I feel quite comfortable and confident and I'm okay with myself. It really doesn't matter what colour you wear. What does matter is, what am I saying about myself and my organisation to these people? What impression are they getting? And if I'm comfortable in saying the right thing about me and my organisation, and I'm comfortable in myself and I'm not thinking about all the bits that might be sticking out, or, you know, some clothes that's not quite sitting right, then I will be concentrating more on the relationship and less inward and outward at me. So one of the tips is to make sure that you feel really comfortable. In fact, I want to go even further. Before you go to a networking event, I want you to look in the mirror and just feel really good about yourself. Because if you do, then when you walk in that room, you'll be saying something really special about yourself without going over the top. One of the things that people say to me when they go to networking events and they're in a room full of men all the time is, how do they get over this conversation about sport? Well, we've got to get real. We live in a society where people are interested in many different things. And if you don't know about some of the things that are going on at that time, really, you're going to be out of the conversation. So one of the things I do is I listen to radio stations or the television, which will give me a really good balance. Sport, politics, business, finance, current affairs, so that within half an hour, I've sort of picked up lots of different things that are happening in that day or have occurred the day before that I can bring into a conversation. Even if I know nothing about the subject, at least I can join in. And I think this is important. Again, it's about adaptation, helping people to have that extra bit of a conversation with you. When we come back to another session on the gender issues between men and women, we're going to look at the whole point of how women join groups, how women start up conversations, how we move the conversations from small talk to business, and how we deal with that aha moment when we've found a business opportunity. All of these things have gender differences, and we need to know that we can do them and still keep that feminine side of us, but work far more effectively in a male networking environment. See you soon. Thank you.